I'm taste testing pink Berkeley Tie Dye today. They seem to have developed earlier than a lot of the tomatoes. They're kind of pretty, kind of not. Interesting. I wanted to give them a fair try. I tried them last year. Didn't get very large or nice fruits, but this year they're a lot better. So I just wanted to give these a try. The salt shaker is mandatory, even just a little. It enhances the flavor. It's a nice flavor. I love anything tomatoes. It didn't blow my socks off. Not overly flavorful so far, but I never turn my nose up at a tomato, regardless. So I'd have to put it in the kind of brown tomato family. It does have a richness to it, but not as flavorful as some of the tomatoes like Cherokee Purple, Black Crim, and Paul Robeson. The pink Berkeley Tie Dye is a beefsteak tomato. It has a lot of seeds. It's quite juicy. I would place it in my maybe moderate column of tomatoes. Maybe I'd give it a 5 or a 6 out of a 10. This is the Thorburns Terracotta, a smaller globe-size terracotta colored tomato. Now we're going to give that one a try. It has a terracotta flesh, but inside it's kind of greener. So let's give it a taste. I know Jess from Roots and Refuge Farms really likes this variety. This one has a lot more flavor than the pink Berkeley Tie Dye. So far I'm really liking it. Almost a little more fruity. I approve. Like I said, it's a smaller globe tomato. It has a lot of seeds and juice. It would be wonderful on salads, in salsa, in fresh salsa, pico de gallo. You could use it in sauces. I think it's pretty versatile. So I would probably go 7 or 8 at least on this one. Thorburns Terracotta. That's a really yummy tomato taste that I think we're all looking for. This is a giant crimson tomato, and the story for that is still in the works. Let's give that one a try. It looks like it's a medium globe tomato. I don't know why it has giant in its name, but it is a very old tomato. The seed has been around for a long time and continues to be around now, today, because of Luke Marion from M.I. Gardner. So let's give this one a taste. It looks like it has quite a few seeds, quite a bit of juice. First words that come to my mind are bright and light, not overly acidic. I think it would probably just be a very good standard tomato. So I do approve. I like it. There was definitely more flavor in the Thorburns Terracotta. But I definitely think it's worth saving and keeping these different tomato varieties in existence by home gardeners like us. If we grow them, then they won't go extinct. I'm definitely going to save the seed just because there's not tons and tons of seed about in the world with this giant crimson. So I'm going to do my part and save seed. The Thorburns Terracotta is definitely more flavorful, but I don't want to see any tomato variety cease to exist. This tomato is the mortgage lifter, and this is not an ideal specimen of it. I don't know why it got so many pleats and ripples in it this time. It cracked on the bottom, but let's just give this one a taste and see if we like it. This year I've taken to smelling the tomatoes before I eat them. It just gives that more balanced impression on what they're like altogether. Taste, smell, look. So let's give this one a taste. It's got a lovely red tomato color. Not too overly seedy or juicy. That's a good taste. It's very tomatoey tasting, which is what you want. It's not overly complex or deep or rich, but just like a very good basic tomato to make wonderful sauce, salsa, whatever you want to make, probably to can. It's always been a favorite of mine. I've grown it for several years, so that's always going to stay on my list. The mortgage lifter. I'm chopping the rest of these up to make some salsa or pico de gallo. It's just going to be so fresh and lovely. I just can't believe that I'm already eating tomatoes, and I am loving it. The last tomato that I'm going to test is the orange Rolini. It was one of the first tomatoes that were ripe. It's very prolific. It's the first year I've grown it. So let's give it a taste. I think it might be considered a grape size. I'm not exactly sure. It's got quite a few seeds. And it's very juicy. The first taste was really good. Before, when I ate one of them out in the garden, I thought it was a little bit mealy. Not quite as bad today because maybe it's riper. And it does have a good flavor. So far, the Thorburns Terracotta has been the one that's just jumped out at me. All in all, very good tomatoes. Of course, I would keep them and love them and use them. Will I regrow the pink Berkeley Tie Dye? I don't know. I grew 63 varieties this year. So I would not put it up there on my favorites list. But the orange Rolini, definitely the Thorburns Terracotta, even though they're small, they have a great flavor and they're really quite pretty. The gel and the seeds inside are green, and then the flesh is terracotta colored. So I'm definitely going to grow those again, as well as the giant crimson, because I love that story. And remember, that story's coming up. So thanks for stopping in today. It's not a very long video, but I just wanted to share with you some of the tomatoes that were ripe and the tomatoes that I'm testing, and hope that you have a wonderful day. And don't forget to grow joyfully. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.